So another late fade here in the spiders, and market just cannot hold the gains right now. Although we do have NVIDIA later today, and we'll see if that can save the market. I'm doing the video early here. NVIDIA does report earnings a little late. Overall, I don't think that it's really going to change my analysis too much because we're already kind of at a nexus here anyway. But NVIDIA could result in kind of that rubber band effect here where the spiders are stretched enough. It also could, if there's a miss, it could result in the breaking of that rubber band. Again, markets don't crash from overbought, they crash from oversold. And, there is, like I said, quite a bit of fear out there. But let's get into it here. So today is Wednesday, February 26, 2025. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. You got to be subscribed to win the free month of active trader here. We're going good here, and thank you guys for liking and sharing and commenting on the video. Doing much better here, and looking forward to the course here next Monday on trader psychology that is available on carnivoretrades.com. But anyways, let's get into it here. So what's really going to happen here, and let's recap the day. Right now, we've had a nice rollover here. So we gapped up. I said we could trend up on Wednesday. And I said that as early as Monday too. And we did, and we couldn't hold the gain. So this market just continues to be weak here. And it continues to go back down for these lows here. But that's kind of something that has been characteristic of really what's happened this whole time, right? So we had this big slice down in FOMC. We sliced the low, came back. Another low here, lower low, and then a rally there. Low here, higher low, and then up again right here, 59.50 again. And we're doing the same thing here. So this market has kind of done this over and over here. And again, we're kind of expecting this type of action for a while. But right now, what's NVIDIA going to do? I just tweeted about this. To me, right now, if I had to pick with a gun to my head, I really usually don't gamble on earnings, but dealers are configured actually quite bullish to 140 right now. I don't really see them pricing in a ton of downside risk, and kind of based on what I saw here, we had another tariff tape bomb, although it wasn't really it wasn't a bomb like the last couple of ones were. But with that in combination of NVIDIA today, I think there's a lot of hedges kind of just going in last minute. And you also have the concerns about DeepSeek. Are they going to guide down really poorly? I think a lot of that is kind of priced into the options market here. So I could see 120 on the downside. I could see 140 on the upside, but I would pick 140 if I had to pick one, just based on how it's configured and where dealers are sitting. Based on the metrics I use, and that's not just gamma exposure, in case you're wondering. But right now, that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Also, if we do, now I'm rooting for it to dump out just because I want to get things cheaper, and I would like things to get really cheap here. But and I think we will, because I think we would get a chance to get things cheaper, as I should say. We broke the streak of five weekly increases on AI, but if NVIDIA dumps, like, this is going to be up at like 60 tomorrow. I mean, I'm just exaggerating, but seriously. Also, we're back into extreme fear. So, I mean, there's a situation where, yeah, I guess the rubber band could break, but how often does that happen? Like once every couple of years, honestly. So maybe that's today. We'll see. We hit the trend line again, and that's where we've put in a low so far. We're trying to float back up, but we did have some, I'm not ruling out a little bit of power hour shenanigans. There is some risk down here to 590, and I mentioned that yesterday in the video too. I didn't think we'd hit it, but it did pop up here. Now it's going to start to shrink here if we just stay, above 59.50 SPX, but it's still there. They could still slam it down in the last 10 minutes. It's not like it's that far away. They could whack it really hard and just get that out of the way. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at here. So I'm thinking, and by the way, I think this pivot's still holding right now, and I think there's a good chance of some mean reversion tomorrow. So we'll see if NVIDIA ends up being the catalyst for that. Again, I'd love for it to just puke out and get everybody have CNBC just pumping the sell at markets in turmoil segment overnight and let that happen. But right now, we'll see what we get. I'm not really positioned too strongly one way or the other here, but yeah, if NVIDIA gets going, maybe it gets us back up to 610, and then everybody gets bullish again, and then we just go through this whole, whole spiel one more time. But right now, you know, I thought we would have hit 590 by now already. We did have a nice ODTE smackdown. That's what I was calling it in the trading room. That's what it was when they just have this tight range like that. You know, it's pretty easy to see what they're doing. But in any case here, below 590, that does open the floodgates a little bit for some more selling. I just don't know if we're really going to do it. But we'll see what happens here. QQQ 510 area. Again, that is a level to watch as well. And we'll see if that holds up. IWM here, 215. That was strong. You can never count on the Russell to do anything, you know. Look at the Russell this morning. Looked like it was going to be a gap and go. It led the market higher. It was leading the Qs and the Dow and the S&P, and then just it just tailed off by midday. Actually tailed off after like 10:30. Honestly, not even 10:10 a.m. when it tailed off. So we'll see here. But IWM a little bit weaker. Dow at the 435 handle could be bear flagging here. Just be aware. By the way, before I forget, on IWM too, another thing to watch. This monthly, I want to see that close above 217.84 because that is a green bar, breakout bar low. And it's not good when you close below those. The weekly is still hanging in there, though, on that green. But definitely want to see that hold up. SMH outside of NVIDIA held up pretty well, although back down off the highs. Broadcom had a nice day, yeah, up 4.3. Good bounce off the 100 MA. A lot of things bouncing. Meta hitting the 100 or the 50. PLTR hitting the 50. We had a nice day trade this morning on Microsoft hitting that big level. We had another proprietary indicator telling us to buy right there as well. Ended up being a nice little gain. But yeah, a lot of things hitting some key levels too. I mean, Amazon, this is one I picked up the other day too. And nice little tail there. So some things hitting some key levels. You know, we'll see. Definitely seeing some buyers come in. But yeah, Russell weak. Dow here could be bear flagging, just be careful. But yeah, SMH up 1.8. NVIDIA will dictate this. IGV held up pretty well too, up 1.25. And really, you know, it came off the highs like the spiders did, but not really terrible intraday. Not as weak as the spiders. I mean, that was like straight down on the spiders and Qs. By the way, Qs are flat here too. I would take that as a positive for now. Transports again, still just kind of neutral, right? We had the big dump, but we still haven't taken out the lows, and we didn't even take out Thursday's low. So it's still hanging in there, relatively speaking, but not really a great pattern. Right, weekly you still have bear inside bar, and this green failed. So the positive is you're above this green, but you're still inside of that red. So a little macro to micro there as far as the daily chart or the weekly chart pattern is concerned. Interest rates again backed off. So Trump's getting his wish. And there's Bitcoin. We'll talk about that in a second. And that's the point for the bears here. Could be a sign liquidity is coming out. But yeah, look at the 2-year here. That's below 410. I told you guys to watch that level. And there it is. 5s into 407. This could be a little bit of a pivot point or a little pivot area potentially. 10s, 4.25. 30s not that far off. We talked about this level. Weeks ago when everybody was shorting TLT, and I said look for 4.25 on the 10s. Might even go a little bit lower. Might get to 4.25 on the 30s too, or not 4.25. Sorry. Well, maybe that would be like your secondary leg down. I don't know if it goes that far. Rates still coming down, and TLT awfully close to 93. I gave that idea out a long time ago. Here it is. Pretty soon, everybody will be talking about rates coming down forever, and that's time to get on the other side of that, but we're not there yet. XHP down 78 cents. It held up all right, though. It held inside of yesterday's candle. So did VNQ. Now, no confirmed breakout, but I do like how it back tested 92.50 or so. And then it came back in, you know, came back up off the lows. So this is a candidate, if the market does recover, this is a candidate to really push. As I've said last couple of days. XLF down here a little bit. I'm not going to make too much out of that. Financials just kind of hanging in there. I don't love the pattern on KRE or KBE, though. And broker dealers here bouncing off the 50 MA, another thing hitting that 50 or 100 moving average on a few others. Oil down again, but off the lows. It's starting to get a little attractive. We'll have to do a little bit more work on it, but I just don't love the pattern as I've mentioned. So I want to see it really wash out. It's just been so choppy for such a long time. But it's holding up here. XLE down again. It did bounce off the low. We'll see where that closes. See if I can hold yesterday's low by the close. I still think this is doing some consolidation for a run towards the summer. XOP and OIH are weaker. I wouldn't be in these right now. Uranium space, CSCJ up 2%. So it's holding 42. URNM holding that area that we talked about yesterday. And J is in there okay as well. And Nuke's getting a bounce at 42. We talked about that pivot as well. Gas here down about 4%, but has not broken trend. So this has not broken trend, and yeah, if this comes out, the 20 MA catches up, it can just make another leg up. So we'll see. Nat gas is crazy. It's fickle though. Dollar index green on the day. Again, watching that falling wedge, and again, dollar yen down. All right, this is, I mean, you know, bounce overnight, high in the morning. You know, bounce overnight, high in the morning. Right. It's pretty much right on. I think a lot of it is a little bit starting to tinker off a little bit today because of NVIDIA. So positioning changing a little bit, but we'll see what happens here. Watch that. Gold holding up well, no problems. Silver, no problems either. It did get hit a little bit yesterday. These need to do some more backing and filling. I don't really know if I love platinum or palladium anymore for maybe even the foreseeable future. We'll see. But made money every time I've traded them, but you got to be careful. You got to know when to get out of those, because when they decide that they're not going to go up anymore, they really stop. But copper here, it looks like it's red, but it's actually green because of the J contract. I think maybe I'm not sure what. Yeah, the contract roll is messing up the price, but it sold off intraday. We'll leave it at that. It didn't break trend though, so we'll leave that. And then let's look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin was definitely weak, right? So this is not good for bulls. We did get to the 200 though. If this can reclaim 86. I'm just using hourly. There we go. Yeah, if this can reclaim like 86K, 85, 86, it could probably squeeze up to like 90 pretty fast. So that's basically like yesterday's low. I think you'd probably get a pretty good squeeze there. But it did hit the 200. Maybe not a bad place to find a pivot, but definitely good outside move there. And definitely weak. ETH weak too. I don't think this low breaks anytime soon, but it's definitely not good. Litecoin, the outlier there. Polkadot up too, but a lot of these other things down and on the weaker side. So not too good for the NASDAQ, but anyway, it looks like we're just pinned to 59.50 right now. So probably not going to get that drop to 5.9. I mean, unless they just blitz it in the last 10 minutes, it's possible they do that. But I think that's kind of where we're just going to sit here for the day. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the video. Again, I think, 120 I think is probably a likely downside. I'm thinking it goes to 140 though, if I had to take a guess. There is too. I mean, I guess it's kind of sloppy. I'm just kind of noticing it now. It could be a little inverse head and shoulder here intraday. It's got quite a bit of a measured move on it too. That's like 100 points right there. So that would take you back up to 61. Yeah, 610. Right there. And there you go. That takes you right back up there. So we'll see. Again, that's all contingent on if it even happens, but something to keep on watch there. I do think we're close to some sort of a pivot low here, But if something really bad happens with NVIDIA and the rubber band breaks, we could be seeing 584 really fast, maybe even 580. I do think 565 gets touched at some point too, but I'll talk about that if and when that happens. I think the VIX is probably still capped out at 20 for now. Again, unless that we really get a catalyst, to push it up to 25, I think market's probably going to stabilize here a little bit, but we'll see if and when that happens, and we'll take it one step at a time, as usual. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys all tomorrow.